Okay, so let's get one thing straight before we dive in. Urek Mazino was not the MVP of this chapter. No, that honor goes to someone far more surprising. The guy I have been awkwardly calling the guy in the Guns N' Roses shirt for the past 5 chapters. Because in chapter 6, he finally got the name, and more importantly, he earned it. And not only does he steal the spotlight from Urek, but he also delivers the most heartfelt, genuine moment of the entire chapter. So let's break everything down. Chapter 6 picks up exactly where chapter 5 left off. Urek Mazino steps into the center of the fisherman training arena, ready to challenge Dungeon, the arrogant ranker who's been flexing his authority since his first appearance. But from the moment Urek approaches him, we get an immediate visual cue that things aren't going to be ordinary, as the Shinsu itself parts around Urek as he walks. Almost as if even the tower itself knows he doesn't belong here. And then Urek lets out a scream, not out of rage, but rather just to mess with Dungeon. Dungeon, annoyed but determined to assert his dominance, tells Urek to grab the satba so they can begin their traditional Korean wrestling match. For anyone unfamiliar, the rules are simple. You grab the opponent's belt, the satba, and you try to bring them down to the ground. No punches, no tricks, just brute technique. They square off and the match starts. And a few seconds later, Dungeon is flat on his back. And no one, not the regulars, not Dungeon, not even Urek, know exactly what just happened. The reaction is really funny, not just from the regulars watching, but from Dungeon and Urek themselves. Dungeon claims that he slipped, that he wasn't ready, and that he wasn't using his full strength. The regulars start mocking him, and it's satisfying to watch. This same man had just been bullying the regulars moments earlier, and now he's on the receiving end. But Urek, to his credit, noticed something. Dungeon really wasn't going all out. He didn't use Shinsu to reinforce his body, so he plays along, agreeing to a rematch. In Dungeon's head, it was just a fluke, a mistake. There's no way a ranker like him loses to a regular in a contest of strength, right? Wrong. As soon as they start again, Urek lifts Dungeon off the ground effortlessly. Urek even holds him up there, telling Dungeon that he is getting bored and that he should use the mysterious power he showed back in chapter 2. Dungeon, now fully humbled, finally explains that he can't use Shinsu against a regular. It's against the rules, and doing so without the administrator's permission could lead to banishment or death. But he proposes a solution. During the crown game in 3 days, they can have an official, consensual duel. A fight where they both put their lives on the line. Which tells me that this version of the crown game takes place in a much bigger area than the version we saw in season 1. Anyway, as I just said, Dungeon proposed a fight with the administrator's permission. A duel where they can both go all out and put their lives on the line. Urek loves the idea, but there's one condition. Dungeon tells Urek to lie down, admit defeat and give him back a shred of his dignity. If he does that, Dungeon will let all the other regulars pass. And Urek? He goes all in on the bit. He dramatically collapses to the ground and declares that his body feels like stone and that he couldn't possibly defeat someone like Dungeon. The mockery is obvious, but it gets the job done. Dungeon, with his pride restored, turns to the other regulars and pretends like this was the plan all along. That the point of this test wasn't to eliminate anyone, but to test their determination. He officially welcomes them to the fisherman position. Then he looks Urek dead in the eyes and says, "In 3 days, during the crown game, I'm going to kill you." Urek just smiles. He doesn't see it as a threat. He sees it as a gift, as he thinks to himself, "For the first time in a long time, I get to fight someone to the death without having to hold back." Later, as the regulars head back to their rooms, a surprising moment occurs. The girl Urek helped earlier runs up to him, yells "thank you" and runs away. Urek freezes in place. The nearby regulars are just as stunned. To them it looked like a love confession. Urek's eyes go wide. His inner monologue says it all as he thinks to himself, "I'm glad I came into the tower." But SIU quickly pulls the rug out from underneath us, as we see the girl's inner thoughts as she runs off. This wasn't a genuine confession, she's manipulating him. She wants to use Urek's power to coast through the tests. Sorry mate. Anyway, as she runs off, she passes Princess Rani, who, once again, just says that she will steal Urek's ticket. And I'm going to be honest, I need a bit more from her. For the past 2 chapters, all that she has done is say that she will steal Urek's ticket, which I think we all know is not gonna happen, so there's no real sense of progression. Hopefully the next chapters will give her more to work with. But now I want to talk about what was, in my opinion, the best segment of the chapter, as I want to shift seats to the Spearbearer class, where we finally get a huge question answered. As it turned out, the guy in the Guns N' Roses shirt has a name. He is Rohan, a name that has multiple meanings in the real world. Depending on the language, it can mean ascending or good character, which both fit him pretty well. Lu is also in the group, which is surprising, at least to me, since I assumed he would be a light bearer, but instead he's been given a role on the front line, and it's not going well. Lu can barely hold his spear and quickly starts doubting whether he belongs in the tower at all. He questions why someone as weak as him was chosen to become a regular. That's when Rohan steps in. He approaches Lu and reassures him that if someone like Urek saw potential in him, then there must be something there. Rohan also tells Lu that even though they didn't officially become teammates, he's considered Lu part of the team ever since Urek picked him. Lu looks genuinely touched. He thinks of Evelyn and now Rohan, 2 people who have shown kindness to someone like him, someone he calls a cursed being. Now, in a previous video I theorized that Lu might be from an island that is used by deranged rankers as a playground, but Lu referring to himself as a cursed being makes me question if perhaps he was chosen as a sacrifice. I guess only time will tell. Chapter 6 strikes a really solid balance. We get action, comedy, character development and a few emotional beats that hint at more complex backstories still to come. Urek and Dungeon's rematch was as satisfying as it was silly, and the duel being set up for the crown game promises a more serious showdown ahead. The pacing still has its issues, particularly with Princess Rani. But Rohan's formal introduction and his bond with Lu bring in some much needed warmth and momentum. We are clearly building towards something bigger, and now that the main characters are finally settling into their roles, the pieces are almost all in place. But do let me know your thoughts in the comments. I'm Dennis, and as always, thanks for watching and I hope to see you again. Bye!